What's up, fam? Justin Fio back, bright and early this morning. We're going to be heading out to Palm Beach International Raceway, and we're going to be meeting up with the Duramax man himself, Pela Motorsports. He's got a crazy mega truck, which he also says is the fastest diesel mega truck in the world. And for anyone who wants to challenge him, he said he's ready to go. So looking forward to checking that out. Along with, he's got a drag truck, a Hummer with a Duramax in it. He's got all the goodies, so should be a blast. They're also going to be doing some quarter-mile racing along with some dirt drag. So we got a road trip ahead of us. We're going to get on the road. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys there. This crazy Duramax mega truck. So I know there's probably a lot to talk about on this thing, but
yeah, I still claim to be the world's fastest diesel mega truck. So
oh shit.
Been running this truck for probably 6-7 years in the mega truck series with a bunch of different trucks. Most of my competition runs blown alcohol big blocks, you know, with 12 to 1500 horsepower. So I'm kind of an outlaw in that sport, running a diesel. And a lot of people underestimate the truck until they see it run. So it's a full tube chassis truck. Got 20-inch travel Patrick Enterprise nitrogen shocks. Runs Rockwell 2.5-ton axles. Same kind of axles you see in the old Vietnam War deuce-and-a-half trucks. Of course, I've got upgraded billet shafts and a bunch of custom internals in the shafts to make them hold the power correctly. But it's a rear engine truck, water-to-air intercooled setup. This is also an LBZ DURAMAX with a compound turbo system on it. It's got a small shot of nitrous, mainly just to light the turbo. But an interesting fact about this one is, you know, a lot of guys are running alcohol and spend a bunch of money on fuel. You know, it cost me about $10 in diesel fuel to fill this thing up and it'll run all day. But I burned 40 pounds of ice in about a 30 or 40 second run with the water to air intercooler. So I actually spend more money on ice to run the truck than I do fuel.
That's nuts.
So yeah, take a look around the truck. I'll show you the inside. Not a lot of the trucks that I race with actually have 2 seats in it. So this truck has 2 seats. She's really dirty because I don't really detail this one a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's no need to.
It gets road hard and put away wet. But yes. Yeah, it's a full tube chassis truck. It's got a full, I'm one of the few trucks that has an actual steel cab, roll up windows, door panels.
The whole 9 yards still in here.
Junkyard speakers in the door. I probably should hook that up one day. Kind of hard to see from here, but so it's got a rear engine LBZ Duramax in it with the compound setup. But as you can see, the way the motor's mounted, it's facing rearward, connected to a 4R100 Ford transmission. With a lot of people like, what? Did you say Ford? I'm like, yeah, it's got a Ford tranny in it. We run a PCS controller. It's all computer controlled. Obviously the engine and the transmission are all tied together. So one of the big advantages I have is I can set all sorts of safety limiters and warnings. I'm not looking at gauges when I'm running this truck, so it keeps me from burning it down. But it's very reliable. We take it mud bogging and we go racing with it all the time. So. Fired up.
You guys are into the mud events and stuff, you might have even seen this truck out and about because you go out to most of the events in Florida, right?
Yes, yeah, we were just out at Plant Bamboo. I actually have a lot more fun mud bogging the truck than I do racing it. Pusher intakes did a lot of fab work on this truck for me as well, set up all the turbo plumbing. Those guys have been awesome with us on our developing Duramax parts and you know, setting up the race truck as well.
What was it when you originally got it?
Well, a good friend of mine, Jason, built a truck similar to this. It was the first Duramax powered mega truck years ago. He finished the truck and he sent me a video at about 11 o'clock at night of him doing a trans brake launch in his backyard for the first time after running it. And from the minute I saw that video, I said, I gotta build one of these things. So he started it all. He and I still run together a bit. You may have seen his truck in Monster Jam, but yeah, that was kind of the inspiration, but I wanted to do things different, so I did the rear engine, the 4-speed tranny with lockup. And man, honestly, I never expected this truck to be as competitive as it is in the sport. We were on the Dirty Mudder Trucker show on the Discovery Channel and actually beat 2 blower trucks on the show.
That's sweet.
So it's awesome because all the time the guys are like, "Ah, it's a diesel truck, it's not," and then when I get off the track, they're like, "Holy crap, I can't believe what that thing does." So
this thing's sweet, man. And he's got this badass single cab Duramax, and he's gonna be letting you know a little bit what's done to the thing.
it's an 06. They never made a short bed, regular cab, 3/4 ton truck. So I think about 7 years ago, I originally built this truck, shortened the frame, put a short box on it. It's got an LBZ Duramax in it, compound turbo system, pusher intakes, did all the fab work on this. We made a few changes over the years, but in general, it's pretty much been the same setup. You can see slightly different powder coat colors. As we changed the primary charger a few years back, this is a Bullseye S483. It's got an 83 millimeter inducer Batmo wheel compressor on that one. And this charger is a 67 millimeter Duramax tuner, or calibrated power charger, that they set me up with last year.
Nice. And
truck's got a built tranny. The motor's got Carrillo rod, CP pistons in it. It's got an alternate firing order cam, set of Wagler CNC ported heads. But you know, in general, I joke it's pretty much stock, because other than a few internal upgrades, really the rest of the truck is the way Chevy would have built it if they ever made a regular cab 4-wheel drive 3/4 ton truck. So it's kind of my daily driver more than it is a race truck. As you can see, it's a little dirty, been sitting around. You can check out the inside, is very basic, you know, vinyl floors, work truck interior. It's been a really fun truck. Driving my kid to school in it.
That's a nice daily right here.
Yes, sir. We put a set of Caltrack bars in the back to help it hook up.
11.2. There we go.
As you can see there, it's just got basic upgraded brake rotors and calipers. Nothing crazy on the brake and suspension work. We got the Cognito upper control arms up front. One of my little tricks of the trade as far as getting this truck to launch well and hook up at the track is I've got travel limiters on the front upper control arms, which limit how much the truck can actually pick up during a launch. So it helps with weight transfer, make sure that the front end of the truck doesn't pick up. And as people know, with these independent front suspensions, they like to get a little squirrely. So that helps control the tie rods. So.
And fuel wise, what do you got in here?
Exergy 14 millimeter pump, set 150 over injectors, but that's it, just single pump and 150s, and the truck does really well.
Yeah, and have you ever had this on the dyno? Do you know anywhere where you might think it will be power wise?
My old setup with 100 over injectors and a 12 mil pump made 980 and 1680 without nitrous, but this setup now, it's still mildly tuned because it's set up for a street tune. It's probably making just over 1,000 to the tire the way it's sitting now.
Single cab Duramax versus single cab Duramax. Who's gonna win? $11.11, $13.3. $11.05, $13.1. You got any other future plans with it, or are you planning on?
Man, it's been such a fun truck as just a street daily, you know. It's hard. I mean, I've kicked around the idea many times of really making it into a full-blown drag truck. Probably would have to put a Dodge tranny in it if I really wanted it to go a whole lot faster. Dimitri has helped me a little bit playing with the tranny, but Allisons are not race transmissions, you know. They don't shift super fast, so there's a lot of little things you could change to really get better times out of it, but the trucks run a best of 10.6 at 130 miles an hour, and you know, I could probably get it down into the low 10s, maybe even a 9 if I was really pushing it hard, but you know, I've got a set of slicks for it. It does really well on the slicks.
Sweet.
But obviously not daily driving it on the slicks.
But this is only one of many toys that you have, which we're going to be getting to as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Duramax guy. You might notice that with all the vehicles that I've built. But yeah, we brought a bunch of cool stuff out here. We got a 57 Chevy lowrider. We got the mega truck. We got a Hummer with a Duramax in it. So. He's got all the goodies. The Duramax man right here. This truck is it's actually the D-Max swap company truck. It's got an LBZ in it with a 6-speed Allison, which was pretty tight to package all that in there, but we really wanted this to kind of be set up like OEM. It's got a factory LBZ radiator in it, which you can see is a tight fit.
This is beautiful.
Water to air intercooler setup, and pretty basic motor, nothing crazy, just tuning and you know, a few simple bolt-ons. Obviously some of our intake and intercooler plumbing and stuff helps this thing breathe a little better, but we built this whole truck from the ground up. It was kind of just a shop truck, you know, not trying to make it super pretty. It's not a rat rod, but you know, still didn't spend a lot of money on body work, as you can see.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
You don't see stuff like this very often.
No, certainly not.
That's sick. I'm gonna get a little walk around of this thing. Even got the CTS too in there, huh?
Yeah, we built a second glove box panel so we can hide it if we want.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Put a 9-inch in it with a Watts link setup. It's got an AccuAir air ride system. It's all ride height control. Because the truck's so low and it's nearly impossible to change the tires without taking the bed sides off, we made a quick change deal where you can pull the bed side off in like 2 minutes.
That's
so
sweet.
You have to work the bumpers on upside down and build the exhaust tip into the bumper.
Oh, that's a tip right there. That's sweet. Duramax, everything over here. Even the Hummer. So while we were over here, I saw this old Cadillac that actually has a Duramax in it, right?
Yep. It's got an LB7, 2004.
This thing is nuts. So what year is the Cadillac? What is it? I mean,
it's a 75 Fleetwood. It's got a 04 LB7. And it's got 4 LED trans. It's got a Ford Crown Victoria aluminum front cradle in it, all on air ride technologies, air ride. Dual alternators for the stereo system. It's got 2 Sundown X15s in the trunk with a Salt 6 Sundown amp. It's just a beater. We just have some fun with it.
This thing does burnouts too, huh?
Yeah, it'll rip them.
If you guys want to see this thing burn some rubber, leave that down below. And I saw you got some crazy amp set up back here. What was the big inspiration behind this? Like when you picked this up, was this your original plan?
It was just a junk car we got. We were going to run it in demolition derbies. Just had a motor. My old lady's like, just put the motor in it. Let's do it. So we just threw it together. That's it.
We got a whole lot of new money though.
What we've got here is not 1 motor, not 2 motors, but 3 blown alcohol big block Chevys ready to break shit.
And this truck's actually for sale, you said, right?
Yeah, this is a truck we built for a customer of mine about 2 years ago. It started out actually as I think an 11 or a 12, but we updated everything in the truck, got the 14 sync dash in it. Literally every wire in the truck's been replaced or rebuilt, but this truck's got a real custom suspension from One Up Off-Road, and most of the money was put into the motor and drivetrain. This has got a fully built 6.7 CNC ported heads, billet cam, Gorilla rods, kind of everything you could think of in this motor, along with a massive compound system, pusher custom built, huge air-to-air intercooler. There is a lot of time and money in the drivetrain in this truck. You can see a lot of custom detail, custom logos and emblems. All the intercooler piping and turbo system was all custom fabbed one-off for this truck. Just tons and tons of stuff. I mean, honestly, I think it took us about 1.5 years to build this truck. I mean, even down to the rims have the name of the truck custom machined into the wheels from American Force. And
Yeah, this is definitely a good looking truck. So for anyone that might be in the market that's looking for something, if you're interested, shoot me a DM or shoot him a DM, and maybe you guys can come check it out.
for sure.